When investigating the unknown, every sound, every shadow, and every signal matters. I'm with Macomb Paranormal Investigations, and we rely on proven tools like the EMF meter and REM-Pod to detect electromagnetic changes that might indicate paranormal presence. But here's what separates us from amateur ghost hunters. We don't just look for activity, we look for truth. Every investigation starts with baseline testing. We check for faulty wiring, electronics, and environmental factors that cause false readings. Because if we don't rule out the natural first, we can't responsibly consider the paranormal. Our team of retired police officers approaches every case with an open mind but a skeptical eye.
The silence of the old house is heavy, thick with dust. Decades of untold stories. You are in the dark. Flashlight beam cutting a nervous path across peeling wallpaper. Forgotten furniture. In your hand, you hold a device, an EMF meter. It is your connection to a world beyond our own. A tool designed to pick up the invisible energies that might signal a ghostly presence. A sudden sharp beep shatters the quiet. The needle on your meter jumps into the red. Your heart pounds in your chest. Is this it? Is a spirit trying to communicate from the other side? This is the moment every paranormal investigator lives for. The thrill of potential contact. The validation that something more exists. The REM pod on the floor nearby suddenly lights up. Its cheerful colors are a stark contrast to the oppressive gloom. It chirps frantically, confirming the spike in energy your EMF meter detected. The hairs on your arms stand on end. You whisper into the darkness, asking the unseen entity to make another sign. You are certain you have captured something extraordinary. But what if the story isn't that simple? Before you label this event as a ghostly encounter, let's pause and consider another possibility. What if that sudden spike on your meter has nothing to do with spirits at all? What if the cause is far more mundane, hidden right behind the very walls you're investigating? Many of the readings that get our hearts racing have a logical earthly explanation. These tools can be misled by the very environment we are exploring. We will pull back the curtain on EMF meters. REM-Pods. We will reveal how common electrical sources can mimic paranormal signs. Electrical panel, wiring inside walls, Wi-Fi router, power lines, appliances, fluorescent ballast. The beep might not be a voice from beyond the grave. It might be a warning sign of a very different kind of danger lurking in the house. Our mission tonight is to conduct a thorough and transparent investigation. We will not be hunting for ghosts in the traditional sense. Instead, we are hunting for the truth behind the signals. We will take you step by step, designed to separate genuine anomalies from environmental contamination. We will demonstrate how a systematic approach can help you understand what your equipment is truly telling you. This isn't about debunking for the sake of it. It is about promoting responsible and credible investigation techniques. Our goal is to empower you with the knowledge to look at the evidence with a more critical and informed eye. Here is our plan. We will begin by establishing a comprehensive baseline reading of the entire property. This is the most crucial step. Yet it is often overlooked in the excitement of a new location. We will move through the house room by room, meticulously documenting the ambient electromagnetic fields. We will identify and map every potential source of interference, visible outlets, light fixtures, hidden wiring, junction boxes. This baseline map will become our guide, our reference point against which all subsequent activity is measured. Without it, any reading is just a number without context. Once our baseline is complete, we will begin our search. We will sweep the house again, looking for any spikes or anomalies that deviate from our established background levels. When we find one, we won't jump to paranormal conclusions. Instead, we will initiate a series of simple but effective tests. We will try to replicate the reading. We will use multiple devices to cross-check the findings. We will systematically turn off circuit breakers, unplug appliances, to see if the signal disappears. This process of elimination is key to isolating the true source of the energy. Finally, we will analyze all the data we have collected. We will compare our event logs with our initial baseline map. We will show you precisely how we traced a dramatic EMF spike back to a faulty dimmer switch, and how a REM-Pod's frantic beeping was actually triggered by a nearby mobile phone searching for a signal. By the end of our investigation, you will have a much clearer understanding of how these fascinating devices work, and, more importantly, how they can be fooled. Before you trust the beep and declare you found a ghost, join us on this journey to uncover what's really happening in the dark. Before we can understand the tools, we must first understand what they are designed to measure. EMF stands for electromagnetic fields. Think of these fields as invisible waves of energy that are all around us. They are a natural part of our universe, and they are also created by human technology. Every time electricity flows through a wire, it generates an electromagnetic field. Our modern world is saturated with them. Power lines that crisscross our cities, a simple lamp on your bedside table, anything that uses or carries electricity, an unseen, constant presence in our daily lives, not mysterious or supernatural, a fundamental principle of physics. In paranormal investigations, the theory is that spirits might manipulate this energy to manifest or communicate. A ghost, as a form of energy, could cause a disturbance that a sensitive meter would pick up as a sudden spike. Investigators interpret those spikes as possible contact, but here, the line between science and speculation blurs. EMF is real and measurable. Its link to the paranormal is purely theoretical. There is no scientific proof spirits create or interact with EMF, yet many ghost hunting methods rest on that assumption. So when an EMF meter beeps, it has detected a change in the electromagnetic environment. The question is not whether there was a change, but what caused that change. Understanding that distinction makes you a better investigator. The beep is simply data, a raw signal that an energy field changed in strength or frequency. It doesn't tell you the source. Could it be a spirit? Yes, but far more likely, a faulty wire, a nearby appliance turning on, a cell phone signal, a passing car. Your job is to be a detective. Analyze the data and methodically rule out every natural explanation before considering a paranormal one. The car crunches to a halt on the gravel driveway as the last sliver of the sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of bruised purple and orange. Before us stands the house, a two-story silhouette against the fading light. Its windows are dark, like vacant eyes, staring out over a neglected lawn. Paint peels from the wooden siding in long, curling strips, and a porch sags wearily on one side. This is our laboratory for the night, a place with a history of strange occurrences and unexplained noises. The air is cool and still, carrying the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. As we get out of the car, the silence is the first thing we notice. It is a deep, rural quiet, broken only by the distant call of a lone bird, and the gentle rustle of wind through the skeletal branches of an old oak tree. This initial moment is important. It allows us to acclimate to the natural sounds and feel of the location before we introduce our own noise and equipment. We take a moment to walk the perimeter of the property, our eyes scanning for obvious external sources of electromagnetic interference. A set of power lines runs along the road, a good 50 yards away. We make a mental note to take readings near them later to see if their field extends this far. Stepping onto the porch, the floorboards groan under our weight, each step a protest against the intrusion. The front door, heavy and wooden, creaks open into a dark entryway that smells of dust, old paper, and something faintly musty, like closed-off rooms. This is the transition point, where we leave the modern world behind and step into a space that feels trapped in time. The atmosphere inside is immediately heavier, the air colder. It is easy to see how someone entering this place alone at night could quickly feel unnerved. The mind starts to play tricks, turning every creak and shadow into something more sinister. But tonight, our purpose is to resist that temptation. We are here not to be scared, but to be methodical. We flick on our flashlights, their beams cutting through the oppressive darkness and dancing across furniture draped in white sheets, like sleeping ghosts. The house is a time capsule, and our job is to carefully catalog its present-day environment before we start looking for ghosts from its past. The setup phase is deliberate and unhurried. Rushing leads to mistakes, and mistakes lead to false conclusions. Tonight, every step will be measured, every reading documented, as we begin the slow, careful process of getting to know the house. Now, the most critical phase of our setup begins, the formal baseline sweep. With our command center established and our own electronic interference minimized, we can start to measure the house's ambient electromagnetic field. One investigator takes the lead with a K2 meter. With a digital voice recorder, another investigator follows with a clipboard and a hand-drawn map of the house. We start at the front door. We move clockwise through the ground floor, ensuring we cover every single space systematically. The goal is to leave no corner unmeasured. We enter the first room, the formal dining room. The lead investigator moves slowly along the perimeter, holding the meter about 3 feet off the ground, about a foot away from the walls.
Entering dining room. Sweeping north wall. Reading is stable at 0.1 milligauss. 0.1, 0.1. Approaching outlet on north wall. Reading is climbing. 1.5, 2.7. Peaking at 4.3 milligauss directly at the outlet.
The second investigator marks the location, marks the reading on the map. This process is repeated for every wall, every corner, and every object in the room. We sweep the meter over the antique wooden sideboard, under the dining table, near the chandelier hanging from the ceiling. We discover a persistent field of around 2.5 milligauss near a light switch by the door. We flick the switch on and off. The reading jumps to over 8 milligauss when the light is on, and drops back to 2.5 when off. This tells us the wiring around the switch is unshielded or faulty, creating a constant field even when not in use. This is a crucial finding, a permanent hotspot that could easily be mistaken for paranormal activity. We continue this meticulous process for every room on the ground floor. The kitchen, the small study, the downstairs bathroom. Each room has its own unique EMF signature. The kitchen is predictably noisy, with residual fields around where the refrigerator and microwave would be plugged in. The study, however, is almost completely silent, with readings barely registering above 0. This contrast is important. It shows that not all rooms are equal. Knowing where the quiet zones are is just as important as knowing where the noisy ones. These quiet zones will become prime locations for our vigil later on, as any fluctuation there will be far more significant.
I've got something here. On the main staircase. It's a big spike.
The team members upstairs acknowledge and prepare to move.
I was sweeping the wall next to the staircase landing. The meter was flat at 0.1, and then it jumped. It's holding steady in the red, over 25 milligauss.
This is exactly the kind of event we are looking for, a massive, sustained spike in an area previously identified as electromagnetically clean during our baseline. The other team members converge on the location. They approach slowly, their own meters off, to avoid contaminating the scene. They find the first investigator standing on the landing, halfway up the stairs. Their REM-pod is lit up like a Christmas tree, all 5 lights blazing brightly. The spike is localized to a specific spot on the wall, about 4 feet from the ground. When the investigator moves the meter just a foot to the left, the reading drops back to nearly 0. When the investigator moves the meter just a foot to the right, the reading drops back to nearly 0. It is focused, it is powerful, it is unexplained. The air feels charged with possibility. This is the moment where excitement can easily override methodical procedure. This is where our protocol kicks in. Before declaring this a paranormal event, we must begin our tests. The first step is cross-verification. A second investigator turns on their meter, a different model, an analog one with a needle. The needle on the second meter swings hard to the right, confirming the reading. This is not a malfunctioning device. There is a real, powerful electromagnetic field present that was not there an hour ago during our baseline. The question is, what changed? What could have activated to create such a strong field?
I walked the exact same path as before. I wasn't using my radio. Nothing is different, but the field is here now.
The team runs through a mental checklist of potential causes. Could it be a transient source from outside? A passing car? Unlikely to be this strong and this stable. Could it be a device inside the house? Perhaps an old thermostat. Perhaps an electrical component on a timer that has just kicked on. The house is old, and its systems are a mystery. We have a confirmed anomaly, and now the detective work truly begins to find its source. Our journey through the old house has come to an end, but the lessons we have learned will resonate long after the dust has settled. We began with a simple, tantalizing question. Was that sudden beep from our EMF meter a voice from the other side? We experienced the thrill of a massive, unexplained energy spike on the staircase, a moment that felt like genuine contact. It was a textbook example of what many would label as definitive paranormal evidence. However, by adhering to a strict, methodical protocol, we uncovered a story that was not about ghosts, but about faulty wiring and an old thermostat doing its job. The house was not haunted by a spirit, but by the electrical ghosts of its own past. This investigation served as a practical demonstration of a fundamental principle: a beep is not proof. The flashing lights on a K2 meter, the chirping of a REM-pod are merely data points, indications that the device has detected something in the environment. They do not, and cannot, tell you the source of that detection. Our experience with the staircase incident proved this conclusively. The source was not an intelligent entity attempting to communicate, but a constant, high-power field generated by aging electrical components. Without the discipline to test our findings, we would have left with a fantastic story that was ultimately false, contributing to the very myths we sought to expose. The central rule we followed, and the most important takeaway for any investigator, is the absolute necessity of a comprehensive baseline. This initial mapping of the environment is not an optional step. It is the foundation upon which all credible evidence is built. Our baseline map allowed us to immediately contextualize the staircase spike. It told us that the area was previously clean, making the event significant and worthy of investigation. But it also armed us with the knowledge of other pre-existing hotspots, preventing us from wasting time on false positives from faulty outlets, dimmer switches. The baseline is your guide to what is normal. And only by knowing what is normal can you hope to identify what is truly anomalous. In the end, our investigation was a success. Not because we found a ghost, but because we found the truth. We peeled back the layers of assumption and excitement to reveal a logical, earthly explanation. This process of elimination is the core of responsible investigation. It requires patience, skepticism, and a willingness to accept a mundane answer. The goal should never be to simply collect beeps and blips, but to understand what they mean. By looking beyond the beep, we move from being ghost hunters to being true investigators, dedicated to a more rigorous and honest search for answers, wherever they may lead. So, what does this mean for the aspiring paranormal investigator? It means begin not with buying a ghost hunting kit, but with cultivating a mindset of critical inquiry. Your most powerful tool is skepticism and a commitment to sound methodology. Before you step into a supposedly haunted location, arm yourself with a clear plan. Commit to documenting everything, from the initial baseline to the final analysis. This disciplined approach makes your findings more credible and makes you a more effective, respected investigator. The unknown is worth studying, but good method must always come first. Adopt a few simple steps to avoid common pitfalls. Always use at least 2 different meters to cross-verify unusual readings and rule out equipment malfunction. Meticulously log your baseline readings on a map and refer to it constantly. When an anomaly occurs, begin the process of elimination. Test the circuit breakers. Unplug nearby appliances. Check for radio frequency sources. Mobile phones. Check for radio frequency sources. Walkie-talkies. If a high EMF reading persists and you suspect faulty wiring, advise the owner to consult a professional electrician. This critical approach doesn't diminish mystery. On the contrary, it enhances it. By clearing away false positives and environmental contamination, you increase the significance of what remains unexplained. A true anomaly that withstands rigorous testing becomes infinitely more valuable. This is how the field moves forward, not through easily debunked claims, but through slow, careful accumulation of high-quality, inexplicable evidence that has been thoroughly vetted and is hard to dismiss. As we pack up our gear and leave the old house to the morning light, we are left with a final thought. The search for answers about the afterlife is one of humanity's oldest quests. It deserves our best efforts and our most honest methodologies. The tools can be valuable allies, but only if we understand their limitations and use them wisely. They are guides, not oracles. So the next time you're in the dark and a sudden beep shatters the silence, take a breath and remember our investigation. Before you trust the beep, watch this first, and happy hauntings.